This is a love story that begins one fateful day at this local public market when Sterling Peters accidentally stumbles into the shopping cart of one Annabelle Scott. After apologizing, Sterling strikes up a conversation with Annabelle, and before long he was asking her out for a coffee at this local burned bean coffee shop. Get it while it's hot. The couple immediately felt chemistry, and before long they were asking each other out on a variety of dates that included long walks in the zoo, a stop at the historic boat museum, and a fun-filled evening at Annabelle's favorite jazz club. Months later, while their love blossomed, the couple made dinner reservations at their favorite restaurant overlooking the bay, and on a beautiful moonlit evening, Sterling asked Annabelle for her hand in marriage. With tears of joy in her eyes, Annabelle said yes, and so the wedding planning began. Soon the couple met with bakers, seamstresses, and florists at the luxury boutique shops at Century to make all of their selections and arrangements for this very special day. Sterling also secretly began making plans for a very special honeymoon trip to the new city of Pangasus Bay on the recently discovered continent of Grand Vanilla. By this time, there was only one major decision left, which was where to have the wedding. One day, Annabelle shared a website with Sterling featuring the all-new Ashberry Mills Wedding and Events Center concept that was currently under construction just north of town. He smiled and said, "I love it!" So they booked a reservation for their special day and continued their wedding prep, excited at the prospect of having their big day at a new location. But will the construction be completed in time? Hey, good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, and whenever you are. Welcome back to Birch Bay, episode number 7, and I am your host, City Sculptor. Wow, what an inspirational story about Sterling and Annabelle, and I think they've got a great future ahead of them. We're looking in at the Ashberry Mills area of Birch Bay, and what I want to do is kind of take you on a little give you a view of where we are in relationship to downtown. We are way north of downtown. You can see our downtown in the background there, and way down here on this other side you can see our cargo hub, which was the subject of our episode a couple of episodes back. Long ways away from downtown, and the backstory, if you will, behind this parcel of land out here is that this used to be an old farm. This was the old Ashberry Mills farm where they grew wheat, and you can see these old abandoned factories here in the background. They were old flour mills. And so we have a new land developer in town who said, I'm going to take advantage of this great situation, buy up this land, and repurpose it into a really new fun wedding and event planning center. And, this is something that's starting to pop up in my part of the world where you have these great themed wedding and event centers. Sometimes they're modeled after a barn, sometimes they're modeled after an old industry building, but they make the ideal location for your wedding. So we're going to create something special, new, and exciting in this space. So with all that as a backdrop, let's do this. So our first order of business is to frame up those factories. We got to preserve those factories. And we're going to do that by just grabbing a gravel road here. And I want to run over to this edge. You can see the side edge here. It extends out quite a way. So we're going to have to take our gravel road out to, maybe there or so. Just want to make sure that I'm nice and parallel to the edge of that factory. Yeah, that should work well. And I'll drag that down a little bit. Here. Again, this is just to set a boundary. Nothing really special involved here. And I just want to see where that factory comes out to. Okay, that factory comes out to, about there. So if I set a boundary, let's just say here, roughly, that gives us some room to drop something in there. And then, let's see here. Coming out this way, you can see how far out that comes out. So I'm going to create another loose boundary that comes out to here or so. And again, all with the intent of just creating some space for that factory, for all those factories, those lovely old antiquated buildings that we don't want to disturb at all. Okay, so that sets a nice framework. So now that we've got that all nice and neatly framed up, our next order of business is we're going to have to drag in some zoning, some districts, because one of the things I thought about was I want to use the university campus commencement center. Well, it's not university center because I've got what do I have? Trade school. Trade school is yeah, trade school. And this is kind of funny. This trade school commencement office, I want to use that because there's a whole bunch of rows and seats and chairs, and you occasionally get some people sitting in there. So I want to grab our university campus. Let's see here. Where is that? It's way down over here. And okay, looks like there are some little outlet offices right here. Here's one. Let's grab this, and we're going to run that out all the way out here to Ashberry Mills. And I'm just going to draw a nice big circle here, and we can cut that out and come back here and scale that back. And so that's the first part of zoning that I want to use. The second part I'm going to need is some industry zoning. And I think I mentioned I wanted to create vineyards, and I'm going to do that look and feel by using our sapling, fields or whatever from the lumber industry. So I'm going to drop in some lumber industry here, covering up all that oil. No, we're not going to go drilling for oil at the wedding chapel. That's not going to happen. All right, so we drop in some lumber zoning, and then of course we've got this agriculture here. And one of the things I want to put in there are apple orchards. So let's see here. Where's our nearest? I think Amber Waves. Yeah, that's Great Grains Brewing. There you go. That is definitely agriculture. So we're going to draw in our agriculture, paint that in as well, so we can mix and match some assets in here. And we'll just erase those back there. So it's an extension of Great Grains Brewing. Well, I mean, maybe they're brewing apple cider. I don't know. We don't know. All right. So now we've got some of those. Zones painted in. Okay. Our next order of business is I want to create a kind of like a grand approach, maybe a broad boulevard that comes through here, 4-lane road with sidewalks and trees that comes up. Oh, maybe it's in alignment with, like right here. We're going to bring that back. In fact, before I do that, let's come in here and let's clean up those trees. Okay, and then we'll come back in later and repopulate with the trees that we're looking for. All right, so let's grab this, and we're gonna drop in kind of this broad boulevard that runs just out. We'll just take it out for this first. It's a placeholder for now, and then I want off of that broad boulevard. I'd like to drop in that university commencement office. Good, we've got that space painted nicely. So let's come back in here. It's the trade school commencement office. And let's see. I think if we kind of just nestle that in, I don't know, maybe right about there. That's probably okay. I don't know. It looks kind of cool to me, but maybe we want to try and get it in a little closer if we can. Let's see here. I'd like to get it in there so it's kind of right up against, maybe it uses that avenue as its approach. So then it's nestled in there nice and close to the factories. And I think what I'll end up doing is coming back in here and detailing this out with a bunch of lush, rich vegetation. See, you already have attendees. Look at this. They're already they're throwing their caps in the air. Maybe we can pretend it's rice or birdseed or whatever people throw it at weddings nowadays. And you have an officiant up there. So there you go. All right. So that's our good start there. And then, the next thing I would like to do is I want to convert this road. Let's convert that to a pedestrian road. Maybe it's a nice tree-lined boulevard here, tree-lined pedestrian road. And yeah, okay. And so we've got a place. We've got a place for our couple to get married, and now we need a place for them to to celebrate. Let's drop in. Let's see here. I think we'll drop in. There's a specific asset. Let's see here. It's in unique buildings. We got the seaside resorts. It's called. It's this one, Asbury Park Pavilion. Let's use that one. And I think we can. Oh, this one doesn't even. Looks like it doesn't even require a road. Didn't know that. That's kind of cool. We'll just drop that in right now. Let's make sure that we center it up nicely with the road. Voila. Okay, drop that in. And maybe this is the reception hall. If it's raining out or whatever, you want to have your indoor reception, or maybe you could even have the service. The wedding indoors. Boy, that cheering is loud. Service indoors, but it makes for a nice wedding reception area. And kind of what I'm envisioning here is we drop in some tables and chairs and have like seating out there for an outdoor reception, or maybe you could have an indoor reception as well. All right. So one of the other things that we're seeing with some of these destination wedding event places is you need to have a bride's cottage, if you will, a bride's cottage, and it's for that maybe it's the night before, and her bridesmaids want to spend the evening there, and multiple different bedrooms. They can all get ready and make themselves look lovely for the day of the event, the big event, and the bride can spend her time getting ready and have her bring in her stylist and so forth. And so I want to say let's go to the Parks and Plaza and let's grab there's an old inn. Yeah, that old inn might be just perfect. Might be just perfect for that. Let's drop that down right there. And this could make a beautiful bride's cottage. The bridesmaids or bridesmaids party, bridal party. This would make a beautiful bridal party cottage. All right, and then maybe back along here somewhere you have to have the groom's cabin. Where the groomsmen, and after their bachelor party the night before, they would come here and get ready for the wedding the next day. Let's take a look and see if there are any cool little old inn, just kind of neat old buildings that might fit the bill. I don't want something too big though. Let's see. Coast Guard Heritage Museum. Ooh. And that fits right in there. Yeah. Let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's try and center it up though on the building if we can. Yeah. See, then the groom and the groomsmen, they all get ready in the Coast Guard Heritage Museum. Well, it's the groom's cabin. We'll call it the groom's cabin. And then they can just walk through and get ready for the ceremony. All right. Oh. Yeah, and you got a little stone grotto back here. Maybe I'll decorate this out and make this into like a little groom's retreat. And you got the bride's retreat over here. Okay. The next thing to think about is where do we want our guests to stay? And I was thinking that this little spot right here, just outside of this factory, would call for a really grand inn. And, I could do like an old historical inn and nestle that in here somewhere with maybe a, plaza, lawn bowling yard. I don't know, something along that line. And flank it up with some vineyards, just to really bring up the elegance level around this old factory. So let's see what we've got for historical buildings. All right, I'm going to go into our was it seaside resorts, and I'm kind of cycling through looking at some of these inns. I'm going to grab the old Orchard House. We're just going to drop in inns until we see something that we really like, something that really catches our eye. Let's try the old Orchard House. What does that look like? Very red. Hotel Fisk. Yeah, I like that. I like the contrast of the white, kind of off-white to the red factory. I think we found a winner. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think our guests are going to like that a lot. Okay, so let's go in here now, and we got to start. We got to start upgrading some roads, and we got to build out our vineyards. So let's get some. Again, I like the idea of having some elegant tree-flanked roads in this space. So we'll select those. We'll come in and upgrade right along here in front of the Hotel Fisk. And then we'll continue that down here a little bit. As part of the, let's see here. Let's just take a look at, yeah, okay, good. We've got that painted in here. So let's drop that down there. I just want to see what, let's make sure our terrain's nice and level too. Let's grab, let's see here. It's in the forestry industry, and we're going to grab a little small tree. No, it's this. It's the small tree sapling field. We'll put that in. We'll start right there. I can change that appearance to greenhouse too. And you get these little, I don't know, kind of coverings that gives this the appearance, if you will, of maybe an old vineyard or a winery. And then let's do the same thing on the kind of mirror that. So what are we kind of off of that hotel by 2 squares there? Maybe come off of 2 squares over here. Drop that in there. So that'll give us a nice big, I don't know, a lawn, if you will, area out across from the from our beautiful hotel. We'll drop some more vineyards down along this other road over here. Let's see here. So let's grab this guy. And let's see, we got to respect the rocks. Can we get a larger one in there? I don't know if we can't. Nah, we don't want to destroy the rock. So let's got to respect the rock. All right, we'll get in here, drop a couple more of the large ones in there. Yeah. And will the small one fit in there? No, it won't. But you know what? Let's take this road out, because then it's kind of served its usefulness there, and we can create a different road. But yeah, see. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's put a large one in there. Yeah, since we can, we've got the space now. Yeah, see, now you've got this vineyards kind of look and feel going on here. And then we can trail those down here over here. Let's do that too. Let's put a couple more in down along this side too, so we kind of continue the theme wrapping around down this corner. Okay, now that we've got the vineyards kind of laid out the way we want it to, the next thing I want to do is add a building, kind of a command center, if you will, building to this space. And that's going to be our, here, we'll just throw it on a gravel road for now. And we'll put it run a gravel road out like that. And that's going to be our park administration, or park, yeah, what is it, park maintenance? Park maintenance building. That's the one that I want. I want to set it right here. And I envision this building as kind of the total command center for the entire Ashberry Mills event center. And you've got a barn here where you could keep all the tables and chairs, and if there's maybe a trade show going on in this auditorium, you could keep the trade show booth materials. You've got a little garage here, which is perfect for your landscape maintenance team. And then you've got this kind of this office space in here where all of your facilitators, your administrators, your event coordinators, and maybe all of the cooking staff and so forth, they do all their prep work in there. It just becomes your command and control center for all of the big events that are happening, like today's wedding. Let's back out here now, and the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that let's get into our landscaping tools and make sure that we smooth out all of the grounds here. And then, in fact, let's bring that 4-lane road out, about 10, and then I'm going to run a 2-lane tree-lined road as well, kind of stemming off of that one. Actually, it might be kind of cool to have a trees running right down the middle of it. So we'll do that for right now, just for the moment. And then it gives us an attach point for us to bring our main boulevard right back into this couplet. Okay, look at that. Now we've got kind of a natural look and feel for this entrance on down into our event center. And we'll come through in the detailing time lapse and spruce this area up. I've got a couple other ideas that just came to mind. And then over here, we have to build out our apple orchard. We have to at least set the frame for our apple orchard. And I want to do that starting with, let's grab a gravel road. We'll grab our gravel road. The first thing I want to do is I want to get that gravel road down here as close as I can to our couplet. And just get in it nice and tight like this. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. In fact, I could get, maybe even a little closer. And then let's see. Let's grab our farming industry and our giant fruit field here. Drop that guy in. All right. So what do we have? We've got the big fruit field there. And I bet if I took a gravel road here, just bear with me here because I want to reorient those fruit fields. And that gets the apple orchard. It is an apple orchard. Yes, apple orchards. A little closer to our couplet road. And now we've got a new road from which to spring the rest of our grid. And we can draw that guy out here. Oh, let's just drive it out here as far as we can for right now. I want to get rid of this connector gravel road. And now I can get rid of this gravel road as well. And I think what I'd like to see is 2 fruit fields. And make sure those are apples, right? And then we're going to draw a gravel road. I don't know, just for the sake of kind of interest. Maybe something to break it up a little bit. Come back in with another fruit field, right? And we'll change that to apples. And then you saw in our zoning here, I snuck in a piece of our timber thing because I want to put another sapling field in there. I just think that makes such a good look to have those saplings in there, almost like it's little apple tree saplings that are under development. So they're constantly renewing the orchard. All right. So we've got those guys in place, and I think the next thing I want to do is I want to come out here. Let's see, how long is this? 340. So let's just go out like 160. Is that this guy? Yeah, 160. We'll bring that up here. And that gives me enough room, I think, for a silo and a barn. What do you think? Let's see here. A big silo. Great big silo. I think if we put a big silo in there and then put a cute little barn. Yeah, maybe a big barn in there. Yeah. See, that's kind of cool. All right, right along the freeway, as you're exiting the freeway, you see this silo and this barn. Uh-huh. Yeah. I might just flip-flop those. I might put the barn, move the silo in close so that, when you're coming down that freeway entrance ramp, you see the little barn, little red barn. Those are so cute. I live at a part of the world where we have lots of little red farmhouses. See, look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So we've got those in there. And the next piece I want to do is, there's a couple of cool assets. I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but I'm looking for an old farmhouse asset, and I think I did find one. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure that I have enough space for this road here. We're just building framework, Yeah, we did the anti-grid in the last episode. We're back to gridding, back to gridding in this episode. And then there's a building called the Ausable Chasm Hotel. Look at that. And if I drop that right in the center there and align that, if I line that up with that barn, that's kind of neat, huh? So you're coming out of the Ausable Chasm. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. There, we framed up our Ausable Chasm Hotel. And then, if I can, let's see. I want to use, let's see if I can find it. Where is it? The riding stables? Is that in the parks? Riding stable, RID. Yeah. Just fits in that space. So if I drop in our riding stables there, I don't know. I don't love that. I think I want to orient it the other way. That way it creates more of almost like a park area out in front of the Ausable Chasm Hotel. And then we can connect that up. Yeah. And that's starting to look kind of cool. That's looking like a farmyard. There's one that I said early on that I thought was really a great farmhouse. It's called it looked like a farmhouse. It looks like like an American Midwestern, like massive farmhouse. And I'm just gonna set it here for right now so you can take a look at it. What's this one called? It's called the Abbott Hotel, and it has all the design elements of a Midwestern farmhouse, albeit a very, very big one, but a farmhouse nonetheless. So we're gonna work that into. I might drag that into this space here, and then the last piece I want to drop in is something I've never used before, which is this hot air balloon rides. I kind of I was laughing. I thought, how can you have a vineyard, a winery, and an apple orchard without having hot air balloon rides? That seems like kind of a natural, right? And imagine if you're taking off in those hot air balloons, you get up here above the beautiful apple orchard and the vineyards, and you see this, what is it called, Gateway Village, I think, over in this space, and the lakes, the beautiful lakes, and then you peer down the shore here to the downtown in the background and all the way down. But I think it'd be a really pretty view, and then you turn around and you've got these hills and stuff behind you. So might be a great place to have a balloon ride. That sets us up for a good place to have a detailing time lapse. There's going to be a lot of work that goes into this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think when it's all said and done, I think it should turn into a really beautiful space, and you're going to want to have your event at Ashberry Mills, just like our lucky couple is having their big wedding day there. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll catch you after the time lapse. Okay, well, welcome back from the time lapse. Boy, what build this turned out to be, and oh man, was it a lot of fun. It was doing something I've never done before, and I always enjoy that. It taxed all my creative skills, and even gave me a lot of challenges since we're working solely in vanilla. But boy, I think it turned out cool. Yeah, I mentioned at the top of the episode we wanted to maintain these two factories, preserve them, and weave them into our build, and I think we've done exactly that. So let's dive in and start the tour. We're going to start in this space here. We used our was it a trade school commencement center, and then we use that now as our wedding venue. You can see all the seating, and you've got a stage, and you've got an officiant up here, and I think it really nestled in beautifully. If you take a look here at that old, smelly, stinky flour mill, right? Rustied out building, but we did a lot to soften it up. We've got these beautiful, beautiful redwood trees here that frame it. And then we've got these live oaks that bring some softness, some additional pops of color. And really, it's got a kind of a funky, elegant, industrial vibe. And I think anybody would be happy to be married in this location. So speaking of anybody, let's start with the groom. The groom, we gave him his own special cabin back behind our wedding venue. And the groom's cabin features a little back patio with some seating, and I envision this as a space where the groom and his party to relax and unwind the night before the big day. And we dropped in some walking paths so they can just kind of meander around and reminisce and think about all of the great times that he and the bride had in meeting and building their relationship and ultimately committing to each other. So just a great little space for the groom and his party to have one last hurrah, big send-off. Now, we mentioned the bride, and so I think the bride gets some special attention here too. The bride has her own cottage. And it's this beautiful old inn that we brought into this space, and I just thought it looked so lovely and elegant. And I envisioned her walking out kind of this back patio here and down along this promenade, and then making her way to the altar up here in the wedding venue. So but before that's the big day. The day before the big day, maybe she can relax and unwind in the yoga garden or take a little stroll down this path, looking at her own private vineyards that she's got here, which is really beautiful, and then meander down to this little setting down here where maybe she takes some photos in her bridal gown here, and then you've got a pergola back here where she and her bridesmaids can enjoy a glass of wine because, hey, you're at the vineyards, right? Enjoy a glass of wine around the fountain and just share stories. Okay, that's just a lovely space. So let's continue on. We're gonna jump back over here because after the ceremony, then we're gonna have a reception, and that reception is gonna happen here at our reception center. And we've got a combination outdoor and indoor reception area, just all depending on the weather. But weather permitting here in Birch Bay, it never seems to rain. I'm not sure why that is, but we've got this beautiful outdoor space, and I'll start with the head table. We created the head table up here at the at the front, if you will, of the space. Dropped in a couple of pergolas and some lighting here, and then I've got all of this seating for guests with 4 top tables and umbrellas, making their way all the way to the back here. And then we've got a little bar here in the back section, so you can get your favorite beverage, unwind, and enjoy the celebration of the new couple. We have this nice little cobblestone path meandering its way through to connect from the wedding venue to the indoor reception area. And then we even put in a parquet dance floor so you can dance the night away and celebrate the new couple. All right. So let's, we've got a lot of guests here, and we got to have a place for those guests to stay. So that's the next thing that we did was we built in this beautiful inn here. Remember at the beginning, we dropped this inn in, and I just got giddy. I got excited because look at this beautiful white inn, old antique inn, juxtaposing against this rusty old factory here. And I thought, wow, what what a great contrast in elegance and ruggedness sitting side by side. So we flanked it with some plantings and some growth, some thick vegetation, and then out front, I think I mentioned out front we were going to do something with lawn bowling, and frankly, I didn't know what lawn bowling was. So I went out and Googled it and came back and thought, well, I'm going to put these little lawn bowling lawns in. There's some sort of a mat, and they roll the balls down to the other end. Don't ask me how it works. I don't know how it works. And if there's lawn bowling enthusiasts out there, I'm sorry if I've offended you, because I'm not intending to. And then we dropped in a zoo park. But if you look at this, it just really helps to frame up that gorgeous old historical inn there. So I like that, how that turned out. Now, we've got these nature reserve paths that meander around the side, and I use those in conjunction with our vineyards just to kind of give it that look and feel. But wait till you see this. As you meander down the path and make your way to the lakeshore, we've got this beautiful, beautiful red plantings going through here. Now, I chose these plants in this space because I live in a part of the world that's got a plant called sumac, and sumac during the autumn months turns this bright, fiery red, and I just love seeing it every time it happens. It's starting to happen now, and I thought let's recreate that in this space as well. So you've got this bright, fiery red plant here, and then speaking of fire, we threw in some campfires down along the shore. So the guests that are staying at the inn, they have a nice little retreat as well. They can come down and enjoy their favorite beverage overlooking the lake. Now, if you continue down this path, you've got this little gazebo down here, and it's ideal for taking wedding photos. A great place to capture the images of the day. So we'll jump back from that, and we're going to make our way, and we saw all of our vineyards along the way, but this was a late addition to the build as well. I figured if you're going to have vineyards, you better have a wine tasting chalet, and that's what we've got here. This nice little chalet we dropped in, and put some tile cobblestone patios back here with some seating, some tables, some 2 tops and 4 tops, walled it in nicely, and it's sitting up against that industrial complex, along with the vineyards out front. Maybe they're uncorking their favorite bottle of the latest vintage that they came up with this year. I don't know, but it's a great little spot to just have a glass of wine, unwind, and relax, and enjoy the celebration. Okay, so jumping over to Command Central, we have our park maintenance building and our farm maintenance building, and they're scurrying about, hustle bustle, to make sure that Ashberry Mills is always in tip-top condition and all of the guests' needs are being met. Hats off to them, and you'll start to see apple trees weave their way into our build. Now, this, I think it was called the Abbott Hotel, but we renamed it as the Ashberry Farm. And now it's, I envision that as maybe the original farmhouse that was this, kind of the manor over all of this estate. And so you've got this beautiful farmhouse with some apple trees and some colorful plantings, a water feature in the middle, and now it serves as a bed and breakfast, an inn, if you will, for the farm. Okay, so in the event that you can't get into the bed and breakfast, we have this beautiful, beautiful inn on the hill here behind it too, and I think that turned out great with an apple orchard out in front and apple orchards all to the south. So you're surrounded by apples. And, the beautiful thing about this inn, too, is it overlooks our riding stables. You've got an excellent view of the riding stables down through these palm trees and across the back gardens. And then also, I've never used either the riding stables or the hot air balloon tours. This is a really cool asset. And, I was going through and doing my build, and all of a sudden I said, where's the balloon? Well, look at where it is. I couldn't believe how far the balloon went. In fact, there was at one point during the episode where that balloon was way down here by Spray Island, way off in the distance, over here. And so I just kind of followed it for a while just to see it meandering around the sky. It was really kind of a neat experience. We dropped in a smaller barn because the big one I thought was too big, and then the large silos are really great. But then here we go with our apple orchards, and those orchards make their way down along this couplet road, and they're flanked by. Well, first of all, you've got a very permanent zoo fence back here just to keep people out. But then you have this nice, elegant, kind of fun farm fence that travels right along the couplet road as well. So it's it's framed up nicely, and then of course we've got our sapling field that we brought in there just to maybe indicate that they're constantly renewing and expanding and adding new plantings. I think that about covers it. That's Ashberry Mills. What did you think of that one? Please give us a comment. Leave us a comment, and if you like what you saw today, leave us a like. If you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down. But just let us know what you didn't like about it. But I've never done anything like this before. I think I said that already, and it was a lot of fun trying to build something out using only vanilla assets to really come up with a creative way to add some life and energy to your city beyond just a simple industry or simple residential or simple office space. So all right, well, that's going to wrap things up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'm going to bid you farewell for now. I hope to see you guys again real soon, but until then, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.